This video is presented by Audiobooks Now. They offer a selection of over 320,000 digital audiobooks that can be downloaded and/or streamed. In the description of, and as the pinned comment for this video, is a special link from me, Ryan Holman, to a 30-day free trial of Audiobooks Now, and also to get 50% off of your first audiobook. In 2005, Clay Andrews Racing started to compete in the NASCAR Sportsman Series with David Gilliland driving. In their debut race, Phoenix, they retired due to an engine failure after 12 laps. They returned for an expanded 2006 season. However, in their first 6 races, they failed to qualify twice, retired twice, and failed to finish higher than 29th at Texas. These were not the results of a team that seemed likely to win soon. The 7th race that the combination did was the Kentucky 300. The first 16 races of the season had been won by drivers from NASCAR's Cup Series. 8 drivers would be competing at both Kentucky and the Cup Series race at Michigan that same weekend. This included the top 3 qualifiers, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, and Reed Sorensen. Gilliland qualified in 4th place. At the start, Edwards had an issue and was slow. Then, Kevin Harvick spun on the second lap, causing a caution period. When the race restarted on lap 8, Morgan Shepherd spun and there was another caution. The race restarted 4 laps later with Gilliland in 3rd. He battled for that position with Danny O'Quinn before they both got passed by Kyle Busch. David Reutimann spinning on lap 23 after contact with Greg Biffle caused a caution the following lap. Most of the field made their first pit stops during this time. Gilliland was 3rd again when the race restarted on lap 28. The next lap, Jeff Fuller had a major crash after avoiding Jason Leffler, who had spun, and the race had another caution time and then a race stoppage. When the race restarted on lap 38, Gilliland was still 3rd. 8 laps later, he was challenging Paul Menard for 2nd. On lap 48, Gilliland passed Menard. The lap after this, the race had its 4th caution due to Leffler crashing. Gilliland followed Busch to the pits to make their respective second stops. Busch's stop was 5.2 seconds quicker than Gilliland's. Gilliland dropped to 19th place after his stop. Gilliland's pit crew was likely less experienced. The race restarted on lap 54, and towards the end of the lap, Gilliland tried to pass Todd Cleaver for 17th, but dropped back. Then, Sorensen crashed on lap 61, and the race had its 5th caution period. When the race restarted 8 laps later, Gilliland was 13th. Then, on lap 72, he was battling with Mike Wallace and Menard for 10th. On lap 79, Gilliland briefly passed Wallace for 11th before Wallace got back to position as the next lap started. By lap 96, Gilliland was back in the top 10 after passing Kevin Grubb. On lap 113, Gilliland was battling for 6th position with Stephen Wallace. He got past him and moved away from him before the end of the next lap. 4 laps later, Clint Bowyer and Bernie Lamar made contact, causing the latter to spin and cause a caution time. Busch and most of the leaders pitted during this time, with Gilliland exiting the pits 9th in the group. The race restarted with 79 laps remaining. 5 laps later, he was in 10th place. Then, by lap 129, Gilliland had dropped to 11th place, but was challenging Stephen Light for 10th. 2 laps later, he got past Light. Debris on the track with 67 laps to go caused the race to have its 8th caution period. Gilliland pitted during this time, but had a slow pit stop again, and was the second to last driver to exit the pits. The race restarted with 62 laps remaining with Gilliland in 12th place. 4 laps later, he passed Ashton Lewis Jr. for 9th. With 50 laps remaining, Gilliland reached a group of drivers battling for 4th. Then, Busch's team had to make a pit stop after it was thought that he was having a tire failure. With 40 laps remaining, Gilliland set the fastest lap of the race and was now 5th. 3 laps later, he was close to 4th place Menard. They got even closer with 34 laps remaining. Then, the next lap, as they lapped Jamie Mosley, Gilliland got past Menard. With 25 laps to go, Gilliland was 3rd and attempting to pass Wallace, which he succeeded in doing the next lap, with Hamlin now challenging them. With 21 laps remaining, Gilliland was 4.76 seconds behind leader J.J. Yaley, who had older tires. Then, Chris Cook spun with 17 laps remaining, which bunched the field up under caution. Although some lead lap drivers pitted during this period, Gilliland was in the group who remained on the track. The race restarted with 13 laps remaining. Lap driver Bowyer got between the top 2. By the end of the lap, Bowyer passed Yaley, who had about a car-length lead over Gilliland. Then, with 11 laps to go, Gilliland passed Yaley and led for the first time in the race. Suddenly, the next lap, Augie Vidovich crashed and the race had yet another caution.
Denny Hamlin jumps to the outside of J.J. Yaley. Great start by Denny Hamlin. David Gilliland trying to keep the lead, but 4 wide behind him.
They back down to 2 wide, smart enough getting into the corner. Paul Menard's wanting to get around Mike Wallace bad right there.
Meanwhile, David Gilliland's able to keep the lead over J.J. Yaley. J.J. Yaley's teammate Denny Hamlin right there behind him. Mike Wallace in 4th and Paul Menard in 5th. I think sheer strength for sheer strength. I don't think these guys are going to be able to beat David Gilliland unless, and he should be, just after this restart, he shouldn't have any traffic to deal with. If he just hits his marks, don't make any mistakes, I think he's got this thing. But JJ's staying right with him, looks at the inside.
JJ's really able to get in the corner, but the 84 is really able to get up off the corner. JJ's giving it all he's got right here with these last few laps.
David opens up about a 3-car length lead on J.J. Yaley. Remember, JJ took gas only on his last pit stop back on about lap number 134, 135. 4 laps to go. David Gilliland just ran his fastest lap of the race, as did J.J. Yaley, as did Denny Hamlin, as did Mike Wallace. The top 4 all ran their fastest laps of the race that last time by. Go, Mark.
David Gilliland, guys, not only is he a non-Cup driver, but this team gets their engines in-house or builds their engines in-house. They don't go to a Cup team and get their power plants like a lot of these other non-Cup teams do. They build them in-house. Their head engine builder, Steve Allen, he said, make sure you tell him it's Steve Allen of Murphy, North Carolina. There's 2 of us, and I want to get the proper credit if this boy wins the race.
Remember now, guys, J.J. Yaley looking for first career win in the Busch Series. He's 0 for 68 right now.
He's giving it all he's got. Now, he's able to get in the corner. I know I've already said that once, but his car is really good getting in, but David's car is really good getting up off the corner, and that's where he's making up his time.
2 laps to go for David Gilliland. Career start number 7. JJ's hanging tough there. He's not giving up on this thing. He would love to get up there, battle with David Gilliland, maybe try to get up there, loosen him up a little bit. Last time by, all the top 3 ran their fastest lap of the race.
Looks like JJ's just gotten a little bit too tight behind him.
Guys, 1 lap to go. White flag for David Gilliland. Just hold that line there, David. He's got about a 3-4 car length lead right there.
A lot of people thought it'd be a long time before we see a Busch Series regular win another Busch Series race, but this is more important than that. A part-time guy with a rookie driver, this is absolutely incredible.
Guys like the New York Jets beating the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl number 3. David has truly beat the Goliath of NASCAR Busch Series races.
After finishing no better than 29th in a prior race, Gilliland and the Clay Andrew Racing Team won their first race. Considering Gilliland was starting just his 7th NASCAR National Series race, had never finished in the top 25 in any of the first 6, and was with the team starting their 6th race and had already failed to qualify twice, I consider Gilliland's Kentucky win to be NASCAR's biggest upset win. As of November 2024, Gilliland last raced in NASCAR in 2023 and finished 2nd twice in his career, but never won again.